Hi there, my name is Veronica, and I'm so happy to be with you on this podcast. So today I'm going to be answering 3 questions that were submitted by listeners. Padme is actually joining me today. She is crawling all over me, purring up a storm, so she's going to help me in these responses too. Now, I haven't actually listened to these questions yet, so my responses will be on the spot, spontaneous, and I will try to give the best advice possible to help those that decided to submit a question. Now, it's totally free to submit your own question, so if you would like to do so, simply download the Anchor app and find me at Veronica Isles. You can submit me a voice note and I will add your question to the queue. I do want to say that I answer all questions without any judgment. I do not censor any questions. I will answer just about anything as long as it is audible. And that's pretty much it. You just have to wait your turn. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of fun. I hope you will relate to these questions, find the information useful. And I'm so happy to be able to do this. If you would like to learn more about me, maybe you're new to my channel or my podcast, I do replay these on my YouTube channel as well. Studywithveronica.com is the place to go to get more information on what sort of coaching I offer and to find out more about me and to hear my story. Okay, so let's get to question number 1.
Hi, Veronica. My name is Laura. Me and my boyfriend have been together for almost 3 years now. We love each other very much, although he doesn't believe in marriage and he keeps saying that he never want to get married. So I was wondering if there's a way to manifest him changing his mind regarding marriage and manifesting a proposal from him. Thank you.
Okay, so I absolutely love this question because it is entirely possible. It can be so easy and it can be so wonderful, actually, to have him completely change his mind and to also feel like it was his idea, like he was the one that decided that you should get married, not that you were the one changing his mind to convince him to do so. So let me back up a little bit. Right now, you are experiencing the result of having someone love you, having someone want to be with you, but not having someone be on the same page as marriage as you. So right now, it feels almost like you're at one end and he is at the other. And the first step that we need to do in order to manifest this is to imagine you two joined as one. I would start being very mindful of every time you reinforce this idea that he wants something else and you want something else and you have to convince him. We don't want to reinforce this idea that you need to convince him, you need to show him why it is so, you need to prove this point to him. So we want to refrain from doing anything like that. Instead, we just see you as this perfect union, this joining, you're joined together. You are complementing one another in every single possible way. So obviously, you have the same ideas about the future. And it just organically comes together. It naturally is the perfect extension of being with someone you love. Of course, you're going to marry them. Now, I want you to be very careful about when you think of the idea of what he thinks about marriage. Now, right now, he says he doesn't believe in marriage. Every time that thought comes to your mind, you could say, well, he used to say he didn't believe in marriage, but now he's coming around. You could also say he used to say he would never get married, but now he's coming around. So we want to think of these things as memories from the past. Like you can remember when he said these things, but now he does the opposite. And again, these are ideas that are going to come from his own desire. So we're not going to say that we're going to convince him or attract him to do this, but rather that he instinctually wants these things. A part of him actually could want these things right now, and maybe he's just scared. Maybe he is just afraid to be that vulnerable, to dive in fully. I think that a lot of guys do get afraid of marriage. That's not something unusual. I feel like women are more able to feel that they're ready to commit. Guys generally shy away from it. But guys do come around because, again, couples get married all the time. In fact, he could push for it even more than you. But what we need to do is balance things out. Start seeing yourself as no different than anyone else who got a marriage proposal today. Because trust me, a ton of people got proposed to today. You are no different than any of those people. I would start imagining logically where you want your wedding. Just push yourself to that standpoint. And that's not giving yourself false hope. That's not living in a dream world, a fairy tale land, like where you are being delusional. But rather you are logically looking, he has proposed to me. What do I do next? But it's this idea of coming together. So you're not trying to convince him. You're not arguing your point. You're not putting your foot down and saying, this is an ultimatum. No, we are just going to sort of relieve yourself from all of that pressure, all of that baggage, all of that struggle. You free yourself from that now. You don't wait for the proposal to free yourself from that. You just let yourself feel good that, of course, he's going to come around. Of course, he is going to be one of these guys who suddenly dives full into marriage and actually wants it with all of his heart. Of course. And then we just let it be. We don't wait for him to change his mind. We don't look for indications that he's going to change his mind. We just let it be. And you just enjoy the relationship with him because, well, you want to get married because you love him. So let's just love him without any attachments. Let's love him for who he is. Let's love him for the amount of time that it's taken for him to get to this point. Let's just love him and appreciate him. No demands, no pushing, no forcing. And you just feel you are a part of a team. You are one. You have the same ideas on everything. You are in harmony. And you just reinforce that. And I bet you anything, if you just let go in that way and you stop looking for the proposal, you stop thinking that you're on opposite ends, then suddenly he has proposed and you've already planned where you want to get married, so you have all of that already ready. And it comes together perfectly. Okay, I hope that could help. Let's get to question number 2.
Hey, Veronica, first of all, thank you so much for existing. I mean, seriously, you embody hope. So, I have been trying to manifest my specific person, but recently I had to tell him that I like him. He did not tell me anything in return. Instead said that I should not wait for him. I genuinely like him and would want him to commit to me. How do I do that? I would love to know and hear from you. Thank you.
Okay, so I love that you said that I embody hope because you know what? There is hope here. You may have been rejected, but there is hope. You can turn a rejection around. So I want you to really focus on existing in this idea that a miracle can find you. I am so happy to help you, and I hope that you get your specific person. In fact, I am recording this now. I make these videos, I make these podcasts for that specific purpose because I've done it. I've turned around rejections in my own life. I've learned how simple and how clear-cut it can be. And I think one of the first things that you need to do is continue to see that hope. So yes, I embody hope, but you are hope too. Okay, and that was Padme. She agrees. Okay, so you became very vulnerable. You said that you like him, which was a sweet thing to do. Like, try to be glad that you put yourself on the line in that way. Don't be sad for the fact that he didn't say anything in return. He said not to wait for him. I agree that you shouldn't wait for him, and I don't mean in the fact that you're going to find someone else and you're going to forget about him, but rather that you don't want to put your life on hold waiting for him to change his mind. The only way he is going to change his mind is if you enter a state where he can, in fact, choose you. So we want to move out of the energy of the rejection and into this energy of abundance, of love, of being chosen, of being mutually loved. So I want you to make this journey about yourself. And this is what I mean about not waiting for him. So you're going to do your own thing. You're going to learn to love yourself, to be in love with yourself. To be in love with yourself so much that you feel like anyone would choose you. Anyone would choose to commit to you. Anyone would want to do this. Now, if you can fully free yourself from the bondage of waiting for him to change his mind, and you fall in love with yourself in new ways. You discover things about yourself that are beautiful. You recognize um, the good qualities within yourself. You stop putting him on a pedestal in a way. Again, you've put yourself on the line. You've expressed your feelings to him, but now the ball is in his court, so we can't continually keep rehashing that moment. We need to move ahead to the next moment where he can actually return your feelings. So when you think of him, I want you to imagine what it would be like to hear the words that he does return your feelings, that he does feel the same way. You could even imagine him apologizing for this moment that he originally rejected you. Plenty of people that are in happy relationships now were originally, one of them was rejected. So, I mean, this happens. Again, we make mistakes. Sometimes we reject people and we regret it. So you could even, when he comes to mind, imagine that he's regretting it and wondering what you're up to and regretting that he said not to wait for him, being fearful that you're going to find someone else. So you're going to be very mindful about the way you think of him, but you're mostly going to be aware of not rehashing the moment of rejection and also not thinking that you have to convince him to change his mind. So that's something that we fall victim to a lot when we're not aware of what we should be thinking about and focusing on, is we tend to kind of put our foot down in our mind and be like, this wasn't fair, and continually try to convince the other person in our mind of why they should change their mind. So you don't want to do this. Again, don't wait for him. But I don't mean to find someone else. I mean to put yourself first. If you can truly put yourself first and feel so much freedom, you will find he comes begging for you, and again takes back any hurt he's caused you. And then you get to decide. You get to decide the terms of what happens then. Okay, so I hope this could help, and I am giving you a big hug and wishing you all of the best. All right, let's get to question number 3.
Hey Veronica, hope you're doing well. So I have a quick question. Every time I see my SP or every time my SP comes in front of me, I get really nervous. And I'll avoid talking to him. I just can't. I don't know why. I get nervous, and I just ignore him every time he's in front of me, and I know that looks bad on my part, and I don't want to keep hurting him. I feel like, he's trying to come up to me, but I'm just ignoring him all the time. So how can I avoid doing that? I don't know if that's something that I need to affirm or if that's something I need to change within, but hopefully you can help me out. Thanks, bye.
Okay, so I think that this is an interesting question, and honestly, what first comes to my mind is that you may just not be ready to be loved, to be appreciated. It's almost like a part of you thinks that he is too good to be true. Hence why you are getting this nervousness, why you're sort of avoiding any sort of advancement, because he feels almost like something that should exist within a dream and not within your real life. Another thing that could be coming up is that you're afraid that if you do start to communicate, that he will then either reject you or not return your feelings, or, things generally won't work out. You might be worried about a combination of these things. So we want to really be mindful. You may not know exactly which of these is applicable to your situation, or it could be a combination of them, or it could be something similar. But something is holding you back from accepting his attention, and again, it could be that it is too good to be true, or you're afraid that once it starts, then it will unravel or fall apart, or you're just not ready to have him be a part of your actual life. Again, because He is your specific person. He's your crush. It feels like something that should exist in a dream, something that you are imagining, but not something you are actually existing within. I would also try to see yourself on his same level. That of course he wants to talk to you because you are equal to him. He's not better than you. He's not something that you have to be afraid of losing. So I would do a lot of focusing on yourself about why, you are someone that he can pursue and actually someone that he can be nervous around. Remember, we all get insecure. Like, you may feel like he's so put together or he's so perfect. I mean, if he's your specific person, you think very highly of him. You're obviously very attracted to him, so he feels almost like he doesn't have the same human insecurities that you do. But trust me, everybody does, even those people that appear to be fully put together. Everybody does. Everybody struggles with those insecurities. Some people hide it better than others, but everybody does. So he's just human. And I mean, you could actually be hurting him when he comes up. Like, he doesn't realize. He could feel like you're rejecting him. Now, I don't want to scare you in thinking that that you've done something wrong and that you can't fix it now. I mean, it'll be cute, it'll be a cute story in time, when you're in a relationship together and you can sort of laugh about how, you acted that way. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually did kind of the same thing to my boyfriend. Now that I think about it, every time he would be like, I would purposely put myself in his area where I knew he would be, and then when he approached, I would run off. And I was doing this as a grown woman, in my 30s doing this. So we all tend to do this. But I did stop that, and now we do laugh about it. So, but at that time he didn't realize, how much I wanted to be with him because I was doing silly things, physically. But again, it's okay. It'll be cute later on. And just start to think about him as actually being able to be part of your daily life. He's not too good to be true. He's not someone you can lose. So even though you've done these silly things, you can still be with him. You can still have it. And it'll make for a cute story in time. Okay, so I hope all of these questions could help. Thank you so much to the people who submitted these. If you would like to submit your own question, just download the Anchor app. Veronica Isles is where I am at, and send me a voice note. I do replay these on my YouTube channel, and if you haven't subscribed to me there yet, do it now. I release a ton of new content all of the time, and if you want to work with me one-on-one, studywithveronica.com. Okay, have a good day.